What's going on, everybody? I am Schriszen. I run a YouTube channel called Schriszen Thoughts. I'm here to chop it up with my boys from Black of the Berry.
Oh shit,
Nice.
We're about to go into the spiritual, esoteric realm right here with this conversation, y'all. This is gonna be a little
lot
bit
of big
different.
words.
You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a little bit different for y'all. That's why this introduction is gonna be a tad bit different. Usually I come in here yelling, but we not even on that type of time. No, we on that vibe today.
What type of time are we on?
You heard him. Listen, the brother comes from Schriszen Thoughts YouTube channel. You check it out. He covers a range of diverse, various topics. But one thing that he does not run from is his philosophy on life. And then another thing too is if you follow his YouTube channel, something else that is absolutely wonderful is that he is very big into the yoga, which is something that you and I have both gotten into. I think he got you into the yoga, and he subconsciously got me into thinking about looking at doing yoga. We're going to cover that as well.
Yes.
Listen, his mama and daddy named him Steven, but y'all will address him as Schrisz. Listen, y'all, welcome. We appreciate you, brother Los. Cue the applause, please.
We love you. Oh my God. Yeah.
Peace, peace,
Yoga.
peace, peace,
It's a
peace,
black
peace,
yoga
peace,
guy.
peace,
Oh my God.
What's up, my brother? How you feeling today?
Chilling, man. Had a
Thank you.
nice
Thank you for
busy
coming on the
day.
show, man.
Yes, we appreciate it.
y'all. Y'all been dope since I hopped on board. Moses actually, I remember randomly posted y'all, and I'm always looking for new podcasts and black people. So I was like, all right, let's pop in, check them out, and hopped on board then. And that was almost a year now, I feel like ago.
Yeah, you've been,
love.
Nah, it's been love because I remember you commented on one of our videos, and I went to your page and checked it out, and then I just saw how you were just like I actually got conversations of Dean, the thought of it a little bit from you, because watching you in your car just sitting there, it was to me, it's something intimate about it's just you, the car, your camera, and you are trapped with your thoughts in that vehicle. They can't escape anywhere. Then they only have one way to go, and that I don't think people who don't do this don't understand how fucking terrifying
the vulnerability,
it's hard,
gratifying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I've been so choppy lately with it, because it's hard. It's hard to put things into a short enough format to get it out and feel like I actually expressed what I wanted.
Right.
It's hard to get that all together and maintain that confidence. Like, boom, this is good. This is good enough to cover what I want to say.
It's a rough. It's being a content creator and doing it in the way that we all do it. It's daunting in the sense of it's like, and then sometimes people don't get it. Like I go to dinner every week or close to every week with this group of guys, and they always kind of I remember BTB was on we were on hiatus, because we were just going between seasons, and then too just because Los and I always get to a point where it's kind of all right, we got to kind of take a step back, and then this is when the season ends, and they were just like, well, why aren't you doing it every week? And it's kind of it doesn't work like that when you produce content the way that we do. We're not making something up about someone else. Los and Dean are not fucking 100. Of course it's dialed up a little bit for the camera because it's we're trying to get over who we really are for people within this short amount of time, but it's still us, and we're still putting our vulnerabilities out here for y'all to fucking sit there and shit on most of the time. So it's we got to be we got to be in a clear headspace to do that.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate you for that. But I need to talk about your chip challenge. That is on your YouTube channel, which people can go out, check out YouTube, Schriszen Thoughts. Check out his channel. Now, can you please talk about this motherfucking chip challenge? Because honestly,
how hot is the chip?
Fuck that. He was low-key, he was talking some shit in the video. He was low-key talking some shit. Then he was all right. He was all when he first had the chip, I'll have to say his first 15 to 30 seconds, I was like, all right, brother. You may have some.
He was handling the chip heat.
And after that, all hell broke loose. Get my milk. Get my milk. Yo, he was he was getting tight. He was getting tight at everybody. He was like, yo, son, back up.
It was one of those things that was the worst so far out of my challenges. I enjoy this ridiculously hot challenge, see if you can handle it. I like that. I like spicy stuff. I like hot food, you still have flavor, but you got a solid burn going. So
You
the
like
chip
sweating
things,
you like sweating when you eat, huh?
right? I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
You don't run from it.
So like, if I'm going and getting a jerk chicken, if I'm not sweating, I'm pissed because I feel like I wasted my money. Put it that way.
Sheesh.
Like that's how I feel. So
I respect it.
with the chip,
What
at
kind of
first-
chip was it? What kind of chip was it? First,
it's a stale ass tortilla chip. It's like a big stale tortilla chip.
but fuego.
But
It's black as shit though. That chip
Yeah.
was like midnight.
yeah, it's a black chip
It's death.
covered in the whole capsaicin crystals or whatever.
It comes in this box, right? Right. For the people who don't know, it comes in this box.
I
then
don't even have it with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like it comes in
Yeah.
the box, and then when you open it, he opened it. Then
in a
even the
packet,
chip.
too.
Yeah.
It's in another little packet. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be. I honestly, I thought it was going to be worse. Might have been because I prepped accordingly for it, but I thought it was going to be worse. It was hot. I'm not gonna lie. The shit lasted. The heat stayed on my mouth for a solid 2 hours.
When you hit
But-
the ground in your kitchen, I was fucking crying. I
I
was fucking crying.
Did you watch my Death Nut one?
No.
The Death Nut one. That I didn't prep for that one. I didn't prep appropriately for that one. So what I've come to learn between the Death Nut and the chip, I evolved in my preparation. Death Nuts went in super light eating day, didn't prepare accordingly. So when that shit hit me, that hurt. I did a gummy bear. I did the spicy gummy bear. A spicy gummy bear was way different. The nuts build up to your heat. The gummy bear all at once.
No
Real
pun
quick.
intended.
I was like,
The gummy bear hit all at once. So for that one, I like ate a little bit more because I was like, okay, I think it was the empty stomach thing that killed me. And then
Right.
this time, so when I ate, I felt the same pain that I got from the nuts, but not anywhere near as hard.
Right.
The
So first of all, can we pause it for 1 second? Why the hell you doing this to yourself, man? Like
He loves
it's
this
fun.
shit.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
You must got like a acidy like kind of stomachs that to be able to handle all the spice.
I think I burnt a solid amount of holes into my stomach from eating this type of stuff. I'm not.
You know
gonna
what's
lie.
hilarious? You actually watching him do that challenge, you fucking checked my ego because one thing that Black of the Berry one day we're definitely going to be on is we're definitely going to be on Hot Ones. That's gonna.
Oh my god, that's what I wanted. I would love to do that.
I'll be like
Just
a
to be
third
there
chip.
to go eat along with them. I don't even have to be on the show. Just I want to eat.
Fucking Sean Evans is a great interviewer. Shout out to
Yeah,
Sean Evans.
he's good,
Hopefully
really
he's
good.
still doing Hot Ones by the time that it's our time to go.
I think he's.
But-
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
you see what I'm saying? You never know. But I've always wanted to do that show. But when I saw you do the chip challenge, I remember watching it and literally like it's very rare that I ever doubt myself because I just am like, fuck it, like I'm a monster, I'll get it done. But I sat there and I was like, could I do that? I don't know. I really don't. Like I was like, I don't, because then like you looked like you were like extreme, like you were in discomfort.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't like that kind of shit.
Absolutely.
But like,
Absolutely.
but the discomfort you were in, like, I don't like that kind of shit. Like
It's-
I can deal with my
You
mouth
can't-
hot, but I can tell that your body was
Yeah,
like you were having
once
an
it
out of body
starts-
experience.
There's a point that it starts to settle into your stomach, and now with eating properly, I've learned I can kind of curb that. When I ate the nuts, it hit my stomach, the pain and the heat, I guess, hit my stomach. It like instantly coated the whole thing. It felt like it all got tied up into a knot. Like I couldn't stand up and breathe. But I was literally doing yoga poses. This is when I first got into yoga. I'm down there doing animal flow, trying to do anything to stretch my stomach out to keep it so I could like breathe. Yo, that's what I felt. So now when I got to this chip, it starts to settle in when it's like getting there. Your stomach, it just starts like at the top and the pain just starts to settle across your stomach. So it's like, when that's there, you know, like, all right, it's either going to get really real or I'm going to be all right. And eating a bunch of rice beforehand made this one I could handle it. But it's like a discomfort where you can't sit and do anything. You don't want to breathe. You don't want to swallow. You got chips stuck in your teeth that you want to get out. Otherwise, you got that pain from that, but your tongue is burning. Your whole face is burning. You can't sit still. Like,
I got a challenge for you right now. Is I don't know if you could do this. So in West Indian culture, we like to make our own pepper sauce, right?
I like pepper sauces.
But listen,
Yo, talk about why do you sound like the villain on every major anime? Hold on, Yuki boy.
You don't understand. This one. No,
nah, because I'm telling you right
I like
now.
where I already like where you're going.
This is like my parents and like other Caribbean people who I see who dabble in the pepper sauce knows that less is more with this shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like not even a spoonful. They just need a little bit, and that's enough for the whole plate. I'm talking that's enough for the rice, the vegetables, the everything.
This dude I used to work with, his name's Jay. You scroll through my IG enough, they'll come to videos of a dude with Down syndrome that I posted.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple videos of him that I posted when I worked with him. His mom, one of the things I loved about working with him was I go pick him up at like 6 o'clock, whatever. And if I got him around dinner time, we could sit down and eat with the fam before we go out. And his mom had a pepper sauce that she would make. So I would always take that, throw that over the rice. And I was like, yo, the first time I ever had it, I was like, yo, this is flames. Where is this heat coming from? She's like, you never had this? And I was like, nah. Used to eat it all the time from her. They were from...
What ethnicity is she?
She was from Belize.
Okay, fair. Just want to clarify.
Yeah. She was,
listen, I'll let you know.
I have an
When
idea
BTB
where you're from, so, or where you're going. What you're talking about,
my people's is Guyanese, but you know, it's all in the same sense.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: this flavor, this pepper sauce, was in a jar, kind of settling, maybe going through a fermenting process.
Period.
Yes, I'm talking about the shit popped from just natural heat and just pressure.
The glass.
So yes,
Ooh.
yes. I have videos I can show you.
So
It was sitting there on the kitchen counter and popped like if you had a champagne bottle and opened the wrapper and you just left the cork there. It just popped. It popped randomly like that. Erupted like a middle school science project, bro.
Let me get some. You live
that shit
by me, bro.
Is demon.
Listen,
Let me know when you got some ready. I'll meet up with you.
Yeah. Listen, I'll listen. That shit is like the type of things that because I've made mistakes in my career of being a young first generation child. I've touched pepper sauces with my bare hands, rub my face or something.
Oh,
yeah. So now what I do is if I have like a you know one of those like arm things that you could like touch shit with, that's how I touch the pepper. None of that. I don't even touch none of that. I'm not in it because it's so hot that you could take it in and it's like your eyes are burning. You taste it a little bit, and all you did was smell this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? I just got a great idea because
I ain't trying that shit.
No, listen to me. Hear me out. Hear me out now, people. You and I were supposed to do a mukbang with Peggy, the artist. We're supposed to go cooking with Corey. And then we got this savage over here who loves to fucking try to kill himself with spicy food.
Ew.
Like, look at how he looks at the camera like, this is true. This is true. So now it sounds like to me that's a miniseries that you and I need to go ahead and do.
Yeah, we could do that.
And I think that And I think that honestly, to make it even better for the people, and this way, I can kind of put your feet to the fire because if I put it out here, then it's kind of got to go in this way a little bit. I think that we should let him choose the fucking challenges.
Oh, you're fucking bugging.
Well, no, but no, he has to. It starts on slow.
Nah, fuck you and fuck Chris. Y'all niggas ain't doing this on me. Nah. Oh, that's not happening to me, bro.
I wouldn't kill y'all. No worries.
My shit is very, 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 very mild. My palate, mild.
Yeah. I know most people aren't big
content.
on spicy stuff.
It's for the content,
you can't
bro.
kill yourself on camera.
That
Don't
we
kill yourself.
don't have to die. We're not gonna die. But no, we ain't gonna die. We just
I like my buffalo wings with a little heat. You know what I'm saying?
I want it on camera, us fucking to the brink. That's what I want. So that's fine. It's good.
But you know what? What's saying that, like, I've obviously ate, jerk pork and jerk chicken and shit like that
I mean,
all my
jerky
life.
that hot. A
Huh?
good jerk chicken is nice. It's spicy, so
That's what I'm saying.
you can
So
handle that. Then you're all right.
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like what to say
You
to
just don't. You're not big on it.
right.
You
I'm
don't
not.
want all your. You're not trying to sweat while you're eating.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like sometimes it for me it's like whoo it's hot, and sometimes when you're sweating you're like this is so good though, and you enjoy that, but sometimes it's like it's not enjoyable. You're like it's I don't know. I don't. Is the
You know
wings
what?
really worth it?
There is something, and I'm gonna make a hard pivot on this,
That works.
and I'm gonna pivot on it because you mentioned it earlier. Because you said that you took, you had one of these challenges when you first started doing yoga. You were hitting the yoga poses, trying to figure out what fuck going on here.
Mhm.
So my question to you is, how did you get into yoga, my brother? What turned you on to the yoga and that style? And do you still lift weights, or do you do
Well,
just calisthenics?
at the moment, I'm not lifting any weights because of COVID. So that's it.
But pre-COVID, pre-COVID, were you lifting and doing
Pre-COVID,
yoga? Excuse me.
kind of. I did when I could get there. It was hard. It's hard to physically get to the gym consistently with my life setup right now, with my child being as old as she is, the way
Of
we're
course.
situated with doing all that. If I'm to go to the gym, I'm either going late at night or dumb early in the morning. So if I didn't get up early enough to get there by a certain time, to me, it would lead to me just skipping altogether. So I'm not against lifting weights. I want to get back in the gym. Like I even keep saying to my girl, like, yo, next month I'm going back, waiting for her to give me like that, yeah, all right, cool, we're good. I'm breaking out, you can go.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm straight up yoga. What got me into yoga was On It. If you've seen my story prior to yoga, I was always posting On It, body weight, whatever, On It kettlebell, whatever. I did both of those programs, those two programs. One's a 6-week body weight program, one's a 6-week kettlebell program. Both of them incorporate 2 yoga days. So I had always wanted to do yoga, tried it once and was like, this is dumb hard, never went back to it. And then when I started these programs, because I was like, I need to work out, but I don't have time to get to the gym. So if I can do something right at home, I have no excuse. I have way less of an excuse. I got to leave for work by 8:30 or 8:15. So if I'm up by 6:30, I can bang out a workout and shower and all that with enough time to get everybody ready to be out the house. So I was like, if I can do that, then I'll just do bodyweight stuff from home.
Yeah. You
Went
can't
that
argue
route.
that. It's just way more efficient and convenient.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I can, I slept in a little bit. All right, cool. I can still get up and bang out a workout. Or at night, I have to do this shit late. I'm home. I don't have to go anywhere, do it, then travel back home. I can literally, soon as I'm done with the workout, pop in the shower.
Facts.
So I took advantage of that. And within that, like I said, 2 of the days were active recovery days, which was yoga. So to go along with the program, workout, yoga, workout, yoga. So I was like, there was my getting used to doing yoga. And that's where I learned like, oh, this shit's not that bad. And
Yeah, yoga's
it's
lit.
pretty damn challenging. So
Yeah.
all right, let me rock with this.
So because
you practice Black Swan yoga, right?
Yeah, I practice with Black Swan.
So you do Black Swan's yoga. What yoga you do?
I'm a mix. I've done mostly beach body, and like they have their own like
I
yoga
saw
studio.
they had that in that.
And I've done some of the DDP. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of just like bouncing around free agent style. You know what I mean? But I think what it is for me is like what you guys were saying is the challenge of it. You know what I'm saying? Like and the thing is to not get down on yourself because you can't do something right away. You know, because everybody thinks it's super easy. Like everybody could think they could just get into a down dog and then like a standard split. Like No, you can't. You know what I mean? Like a
Standing
half split. I
is
mean,
still terrible.
yeah. You know what I mean? And sometimes what it is too is also like how to like connect your body in this practice. You know what I mean? So like if you're doing a pose, how is your legs feeling? How are you getting your core engaged? Like making sure everything's engaged. You know what I'm saying?
Besides that, I think also too another thing that is beautiful with yoga is kind of like it does something that I think that what like when I hear martial artists talk about, like it does is it just teaches you like about yourself. Like you learn like this shit exposes you
real quick
before your life.
Yeah.
Before your life, if you can look at how you handle your workouts and how you handle certain adversities during your workouts and certain things, like are you immediately getting up when the pain goes, or do you try to fight it a little bit and then maybe you get up, or do you settle down in it? Like all that kind of things. Like sometimes I know a lot of people go around asking themselves questions and things like what the fuck is going on. Put yourself in certain of these situations, you will find out who you are.
That is absolutely, bro. That's absolutely true. And you know what days it is for me that does that to me is those balancing days. Those days where you're working on balance, and it's like that to me is the inner challenge because
balance is fine.
No, you know what I mean?
When you got to get on the ground. That shit is like
balance is rough. Bro. Listen,
balance is love. If I don't got to get on the ground, I'm good.
Listen. But for me, and that's just me though. That's me. That's why I feel like where I see those battles where I'm like, you're challenging yourself. Like, am I going to challenge this pain, or am I going to be like, bitch up and like, I can't do it. You know, because it's like I'm approaching yoga like I would a serious workout. You know what I mean? Because for me, at least, it's like when we're used to playing football and working out in for a purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like, when we work out, we have like a realm or like an alternate ego sometimes that we get into so that we can really maximize the workout. You know what I mean? Because I need to be in a dark place. You know what I mean? So for me, like for this, I try to do that for like yoga, not being a sense of being in a dark place, but I really try to like focus my real energy's intention to really be like, all right, I have to be exactly what I need to be for this workout. I need to literally leave everything and like just walk out on this existing world and just focus on what I'm doing and building me and trying to get that self-mastery really down. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like for me. It's a long explanation, but I think that for me, that's what the way yoga has done to me. You know what I mean? And I'm still like a novice on the journey. You know what I mean?
Me too. Me too.
I as well.
So it's like there's always different challenges.
I've been doing it for a while, so in like a sense, you could look at it like, oh, you're not a novice anymore, but it's to the practice as a whole, and still incorporating and learning more about it. Like you said, there's a different way you go about it. That you come from a weightlifting mindset, and you have it. You have this. I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm going to finish this set. Like, I've set out to do 3 reps. I'm going to get my 3 reps. So in a sense, you use that and you adjust that to a yoga pose. But that I'm going to get through the set is I'm going to hold this pose until they tell me to transition out. I can't follow their breaths. I can do their, all right, take 2 more breaths thing, but when they're like, you're supposed to breathe at a certain pace, I'm like, I'm gonna breathe the way that I can.
When DDP be talking, I'm like, shut fuck
shut up.
Shut up. Let's go.
Listen, just go ahead
Get off. Next
go
topic,
ahead.
please.
Go ahead and make DDP while you're on, guys. Listen, you need to make a modification.
Like,
go ahead and make the modification. Just step right in. It's fine. It's fine.
But it is that is exactly what got me to enjoy have much more respect for coaches and much more appreciation for a coach, and get me through the practice in general. I was like, that shit sounds corny, but it got me through on it. It got me through yoga when I was doing yoga through on it. And even now, to hear them say, like, yo, your muscles are shaking here. Oh, I know you're tired. I know that you're burnt out. They're saying exactly what you're feeling at that point in time. So you don't feel like yo, this is me being weak. Like, no, you feel exactly what you're supposed to feel. And then they give you that motivation of, are you going to give up?
Mhm.
Use this as a moment to challenge yourself, to push your limits, to
Yes.
see where your end is. Find out
Yes.
where your end is and go to that edge. If it means that you fall out of your position, that's fine. And like incorporating that, it's not a failure to fall out of my position. It's not a failure if I can't stick this pose the same way the teacher looks. If I have to modify it in a way that works for me, cool. And that's life. I'm like, that transitions to life. I'm not going to respond in every situation the same way everybody else does, the same way I look at the as a
Right.
person that I might look up to does, but modify it into a way that will work for you, and that would honestly work best for this whole situation, and you progress forward that way.
Fucking bars.
That
I
is,
done a yoga video.
Bars.
and
I did a
knowing your
video
body
recently.
too.
Right. You
You know
learn
what I mean?
a lot about your body and where your limits are.
Real quick.
Real quick.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A good warrior too will tell you about yourself.
Bruh.
When you
Bruh.
make those micro adjustments that they tell you about, I remember doing it through On It and like kind of doing it to feel like I'm doing yoga over like, let me lock in and really try like getting these moves like right. Once I locked in, it was like the third time around doing it. Like I did both programs, went back, redid it again. And in this one, I'm like, yo, let me really try on this yoga. Doing those micro challenges or changes, just like, oh, twist your hip this way. You're pulling here, just tuck your hip, tuck your butt in a little bit. Squeeze your stomach in here. And it's like adding that into something like a Warrior 2. You're like, yo, you're standing. How is this hard? How am I shaking from standing like this?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
I'm standing bent.
And that's the beautiful thing is like, yo, like what you said, where like where the instructor gives you confirmations, like, yo, embrace that little jingle you got going on. You know what I
Ain't
mean?
nothing, but yo,
And you
there
be
is
like,
nothing. But you know what though? I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm on the heavier side, but I'm like I fluctuate now between 240 and 245. So when I'm in certain of those poses and I'm like shaking and shit, it does give me a little solace in the fact of being like, all right, I am being able to like, I'm gaining a new kind of strength that I never even had in school. Because like, to be honest with you, I would like a year ago, I would say that, you know, old Justin would have like from college would run through me. But now, because of the yoga and then the way that I had to change my lifting style, it would be an interesting matchup physically for me because I feel as if I have a different kind of body manipulation than that individual ever thought that he could. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of, it's a different strength.
Body, you like anime characters. You have a different channeled energy now. You got way more control over yourself than you had before. Before it was brute strength. Now you've got that mix of the strength and that mental and mobility.
Yeah. And that's what it is too, because it's like it's giving your body like you're used to brute strength, you know what I mean? And now, like you said, it is that finesse and it's like that adjustability, that the elasticity in the muscle as well. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be like, and that's what the whole thing it is linking it to being like, you know, body, mind, soul. You know what I mean? It's like it's you're
connecting it all.
Yeah, you're able to, you know, really get the best of your, because we're like, and it teaches us that like, if your brain tells your body to do something, it does it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you need to listen. It puts you in alignment.
You know what I mean? Like, if you could train your brain, like, yo, I know that you feel this in here, but let's control this. You know what I mean? My thing is right now, and I'm still, obviously, like I said, we're still novices and students of the game, is just understanding my breathing and getting back to how important that is. Like, sometimes I hold a pose, and yes, I'm getting in a good challenge, but I'm also still not getting my breath, turning it into a real weapon of mine. You know what I mean? So I can be all that I am in when I'm doing the different challenging poses. So
that takes time.
Yeah,
I'm coming to learn that. That's the thing that's taken the most time, is getting your breath under control.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying stuff that you're not used to doing.
Right.
You get used to that just like heavy breathing and that keeping that controlled breath thing. That's
So I have a question for y'all. I have a question for both of y'all because when I do yoga, I work out with I do yoga and because we do yoga first and then we hit the weights with my workout partner, Big Duff. And so Duff is big too. Me and Duff are around the same weight. And when I'm doing some of these motherfucking poses, well, one, obviously, I know I have to change my foot a little bit because of the injuries to my knees because of football. But do some of y'all get, like, your feet become fucking numb? Or is that just because I'm big? But then I asked Duff, and Duff is like, no, I'm fine. Like, and then I start thinking, like, maybe I got some bigger issues that my doctor hasn't found out yet and I'm about to die. So can one of y'all maybe help alleviate my pain?
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's not all the time. It's not all the
It
time.
depends what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. Certain poses.
If I'm sitting for a little bit or I'm kneeling, like I can't really, you know what I mean? It doesn't allow me to feel my feet sometimes. So I try not to kneel. But yeah, sometimes it is weird.
I've had it happen in like a pose that I wasn't used to when my legs are kind of burnt out and I'm holding some one-legged type thing where like you're putting a whole lot of pressure on one foot. My foot will kind of just like, nope, now you don't feel me. So
yeah.
First times through, generally that'll lead me to say like go back and do this again either tomorrow or the day after, and the next time around it doesn't happen, but that first time that's happened. Yeah, so it's not just you.
Yeah, I've had it because I do the DDP yoga shit and I just go to the workouts and he has like a vast range. So like depending on like the workouts that we select, I could get that shit 3 or 4 different days in a row because like he's got some fucking bullshit because DDP tries to fucking kill you.
Yeah, he's
fucking sadistic
DDP,
bastard. Yo, I curse that motherfucker out with every fiber of my being. Like, ooh, just count deep, diamond.
I'm like, come on, man.
I've said that so many times. Like, yo, come on, shut up. I'm good. I don't need the motivation today.
Yeah. Let's just keep it moving.
Son. Especially, it's like, oh yeah, just go ahead and just put that foot in right there. Yeah, no, you got it, man. Just if you want to modify it, go. Like, shut up with it. We know.
Yeah.
Now, I do have another pivot for everyone.
Well, but before you do that, I still have a couple of yoga questions.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Speak to senpai from like.
For real. This is senpai. This is you know what I mean. So it's like, what are some of the most challenging like days? Like what, like you know, like part of the program. Like if you're following a program, what are some of the days that you see where you find you have a little bit of things that you need to work on, room for improvement? You know, is it like balance days? Is it like like a strength and flow and go couple days?
Days that my balance is off. Those are like I don't know when it's gonna happen. It's just you go into that flow that day and a move that you've hit however many times because you do it all the time. You go to hit it and I'm wobbling all over. Come back to the middle, wobbling all over. So it's like I tend to get those on. I don't know. There's not even a set day. Sometimes if things are going on beforehand and I'm not all like completely in that space, then it might throw my balance off a little bit. But for the most part, it's a random. Early mornings tend to have less balance than I do toward the evening. So I might get a little more frustrated in sessions like that, but it's really just the days that I'm like, yo, I hit this all the time. I know how to breathe. I'm trying to stay focused on getting my breath down now. So why is my balance all of a sudden becoming an issue again? I got this. I've done this before. Trying to do the Warrior Threes, the Superman one. I get it some days and I'm like, bam, I finally got it. I know how to breathe through this. I got this down. The next time I go to try to hit it, I'm all over the place.
Right.
So that's my move wise. That's still my.
You be like, yo, what's wrong with me? Type shit.
Right. Exactly. I'm like, yo, I've gotten this. I learned how to breathe. I learned how to channel my energy. Like, what is going on? But I say, whatever. Maybe tomorrow.
Right, so what about this? My follow up is what about some of the like challenging poses? Like, you know what I mean? That you've like, what the fuck? Like, I remember one time I got into like some shit called, it was like a pigeon or like it was pigeon and then it was like there's
what
another. I
But
forgot
see,
where.
Diamond has his own call, so I don't know the typical
That's
yoga
it.
shit.
You're right.
Yeah,
Diamonds names are
Yeah,
different.
diamonds are names. I'm like, what? Get into what?
Warrior
Oh, I'm
One.
like, oh, okay, right, well, okay.
Yeah.
But it's I forgot. It's like
Eagle arms.
eagle
Eagle
arms.
arms is like
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I know
something
what you
where
mean.
you're like crossed like this. I'm like, yo, my arms, my shoulders.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have the body to do
It's
that.
like crossed. It's like crossed.
Yeah,
like this.
you're crossed in front of your
Yeah.
face, and then you're supposed to hold them up.
Yeah,
So I'm
I've
like,
seen a couple of them, and then you have to
See,
cross
I
like your
can't
foot
really-
underneath.
Yep,
So it's like,
yes,
I'm like,
yeah, that
what
one,
the
I'm like,
hell?
no,
Like,
no. Tree
Yeah.
pose, even still, I'm like, I know what to do, but
Now, what is the tree
terrible.
pose for people out
tree
there?
pose is just the regular like standing.
You're standing,
and they,
the
like try to bounce one. Like,
the typical yoga looking pose where you're
Oh
holding your leg up.
yeah,
I'm like, this is a typical yoga pose, but I still can't do it.
yeah.
I still
Yeah.
like, and even the modified one of okay, put it on your calf, can't do it. Still can't.
Right.
As soon
For
as I
some
get in, fall. As soon as I get in,
Balance.
time.
Balance with me with the yoga, it's fine. But it's the minute that Diamond has me doing anything that I gotta get on the ground for or close to the ground with, it's like, fuck you.
Well, that's
What do you mean? What do you
got-
mean? Like,
Like for instance, so
got
like
more
because
body to work with.
yeah,
The
I got a
more
little more
attacking.
oomph. So the issue is that like so here's
like
what Diamond,
lowering to the ground type shit.
so no, so like what Diamond will have you do is he'll have you do all this shit standing up. Fine. Then he'll right after you do that, not give you no kind of break, no fucking
No,
reprieve, go say fuck you.
Right in
And
the
then he
ass.
has you get into like supported lunge. Right? And now he'll have you in supported lunge the whole motherfucking time without not a piece of a break, without thinking about you, none of this shit. So you're doing everything, all these different yoga poses that you're talking about that you do standing, you do in supported lunge. When he
Yeah.
does that shit, and then
That's a
he
good
starts
one.
incorporating with the yoga poses, going up and down and all this other kind of crazy shit, I'm cursing this motherfucker out to the goddamn high heavens. You hear me, Diamond? I love you, but I can't stand your
No,
punk
that
ass.
sounds like
If I saw you in the
some,
street, I'd give you a hug and then kind of give you like that little elbow chuck. At
That
the same
sounds like
time,
some of those flow and go days where you're just like,
Yeah,
my
it's
God,
got
I'm
like
like
that,
a fucking surfer.
Bro,
Like,
and then that's when I'm like, my legs are shaking and shit. And then
Yeah.
the thing is like sometimes the thing too that kind of kills me with yoga, I figured out is that everything works different for everybody. So there'll be days so Duff and I try to match up the yoga with what we're working that day. So we're gonna do legs. We're going to do a Diamond leg workout, right? But sometimes we'll end up doing legs, but then Diamond got your back feeling wild and your shoulders feeling crazy. And then we go into the leg workout not feeling like, it's like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. But then some days he hits it, like, you get it and it hits right. And it's like you want to fucking jump off a bridge because then I can't squat. And then you squat and he's like, oh, this motherfucker.
You kill yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to
Yoga can
die.
be-
I try to. I try to. I
yoga
really
can
do.
be.
It's wonderful.
I come
Bye,
to learn those longer, the longer the session, the more taxing it's going to be. Although at the end of it, you're generally not burnt. You're not burnt out like you are from lifting. Even a 45 minutes solid sweating, heavy breathing, whatever. Afterwards, you're like, all right, I'm cool. I can go do whatever, and I don't feel any kind of way generally.
Yeah,
So
that's good shit.
I got one more for you.
Yes, sir.
One more, and it's kind of a double whammy, right? So, but the basic thing is for people who are listening and watching, what do you have to say to the people who kind of doubt that yoga is effective, that yoga spiritually or mentally or physically is effective? And that's one, and then two, being a black man and doing that. And it's like everybody never expects, we have a certain image and a certain thing that people hold us to, and we're supposed to be this. And it's like for us to do yoga means that we're contradicting that image or whatever their narrative is. You know what I mean? So please, if you can, just try to, I mean, I gave too deep answers, too deep questions too early, but
Oh no, it ain't too early. This is what we had them for.
Okay.
We knew what we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck
My
that.
bad. Then I'm doing my job then.
Yeah. He's in his realm right now.
Yoga's not for everybody. Just like everything, it's not for everybody. So if you are one who doubts it, then cool. My guess is you haven't tried it. If you doubted it, if you doubt that it's challenging or doubt that it's going to be beneficial for you physically, I can't quote mentally. I don't see how it wouldn't be, but I can't quote or really defend mentally. Physically, I can say that there's zero doubt in my mind that you wouldn't benefit from it physically.
Mm-hmm.
But if you doubt that you would, then whatever, don't. Just be like I was forever and live not knowing. But there's, what was your second question?
And then just being like a black man and doing yoga, and then that whole thing, that whole dealing with different narratives and stereotypes and defying that, and then just still trying to get into your practice and find who you are.
What I've come to learn is, I was talking with my boy. I went and worked out one day with my boy Corey, and he said to me, he's like, "Yo, so you're doing yoga or you doing like yoga?" So
you're like,
saying it like
yoga.
that,
Yeah.
but saying it like that, I'm like, I know what he meant. You have the idea that if you're doing yoga, you're doing those like side crow poses where you're floating, your hands between your legs, your foot's up over your head. So you think like you have that stigma of you're going to be in some wild positions that if you're not
like
flexible, you can't do. Right. So you have that stigma added on to generally you see women. So there's a femininity attached to it. So as a black man, the last thing that you want to attach yourself to is something feminine. So what's kind of been a motivating factor is in Black Swan, seeing a black dude as one of the yoga people. He wasn't the instructor, but he was a black dude with dreads doing it. I was like, all right, that's dope. They got there's a black dude in the video showing me like I can do these things. I can be this flexible. I can do damn near split as a dude and it's not, wasn't some like skinny dude. He's a solidly like built dude. So I'm like, seeing that. Another person that's kind of inspired me to really get into it heavy is actually a bigger dude that I found through popping through people's pages or whatever, seeing him as a bigger guy in these super flexible positions, like, oh, so it's not just skinnier people who are good at this, like big people, big black guys too do this. So just removing that femininity.
That can be nimble too.
Right. You can.
Yes, we can.
You don't have to be slim and in shape to be able to pull this off and be nimble. And me not being nimble, I can get there. Because hey, it says to me like if a big dude can do it, I've got to have some type of ability because I don't have that extra in my way. So I can at least work from there. But just the fact of seeing black men in general, seeing it out in the open more helps us to remove that idea that this is feminine, we can't do this because mainly girls do this. Guys aren't supposed to be flexible. Guys don't need to be doing splits and shit. No, we don't need to be doing splits, but to do our regular daily shit, me to play with my daughter, to get down on the floor, I have to be able to get down on the floor and get up. And doing it without pain is beneficial. We want to be better as parents. You got to be able to play with your kids. To play with your kids, you want to be mobile. Yoga, build your mobility, things like that.
And then something else too. The reason why I think I got attracted to yoga was because of Diamond, and he was talking about the rehabilitation of it. Like I'm somebody that, I played, sports, played in college, and I was playing a position that I shouldn't have been playing at a severely light weight. You know what I mean? So I paid hey, listen, I got the job done.
You got miles on your body.
I got miles, you know what I mean? Especially in the knees. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, because you think about it, I had somebody thrown into my knee, dislocated my knee, kneecap, went in and out. Fucking that shit sucks. And then I've torn both of my gastrocnemius muscles in my calf. And then also my right knee, I fucked up in high school. So like the knees, and like I've always was always thinking like, that's going to be a problem for me getting older. But watching Diamond and just his workouts and how they have, like, you know, don't get me wrong, sometimes my knees feel better than other days, but then that's because of certain workouts, I know that it's strengthening that, and I'm actually starting to work through that scar tissue because I'm able to do movements, stuff like that, and be in positions that before I would be like, yeah. I feel as if I've
only in a dream.
Yeah, I feel as if I've turned, like with yoga, it has helped me turn back the clocks of
Into
time
your
on my
younger
body. Yeah, like my body's
You
starting
get
to come back.
your spring back, your spry.
So like now, like I'm walking down the street and shit, like, cause I'm fucked up. I think of like some crazy shit. So like, I'll be walking down the street. Sometimes I'm walking like the dog and shit. I'm just like, somebody try to come at me right now. Like I'm definitely bringing out more of the old arsenal now. Now it's like, I remember to do this. Yeah.
And I think
that's how you got to move.
Like one of my first last points about this shit is just like the beauty of the stretches, the beauty of the variety of the stretches. And it's like so many different programs and so many different people do yoga. So it's like terminologies could be different. The workouts could be different. The difficultiness could be different. But regardless of the fact that it's beautiful, because the beauty of the stretches and like being in and really acknowledging what the fuck you're doing and what you're in. Like,
it feels good when you hit like a dope pose, just one that you're like, yo, I really hit that shit. Even just something basic of low lunge. You go from like a low lunge, but then they tell you to open twist and you're twisting, so you're like corkscrewed.
Yeah.
Where instead of twisting to the side that you're lunging with, you're twisting to the other side. When you pull that shit off and hold it, and then they tell you to do the reach back in that reverse warrior style.
Yeah.
I remember first times trying it, I'm like, all right, whatever I do. I'm like, I'm never gonna pull this off. And then third try through, I'm like, oh shit! Like, can somebody come take a picture of this or something? Like something. It's when you hit one. And then when you're able to, oh man, it does feel good to feel everything kind of coming together, even if it's for one flow. To feel it all come together, that it feels dope. It's a really.
I like feeling the challenges of the flow and go days though, when you're really like on and off the mat, like just like it's a cardio almost at this point, because you do not stop, and it's just like, yo,
they don't break at all.
And they're like, all right, not even like a child's pose, like your rest is down dog. I'm like, damn.
Wait, and the down dog's not a rest.
That shit kills my does that shit kill your fucking shoulders?
Oh my god!
When I'm in down dog, I'm just like, yo, son.
I still don't know if I do down dog right. Every time I do it and I'm listening, I'm like, am my heel supposed to be down or my leg supposed to be bent?
Yeah, like, what's going on?
Like, am I supposed to be? I can't figure out what my down dog. And then when you look it up, there's multiple explanations for how to do it. So I'm like.
Or when they try to do that down dog shift to plank, I'm like,
yo, I don't.
We think my shoulders are hinges, motherfucker.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I was able to go from Cobra to down dog to plank, but like in a fluid motion that didn't require me to have to do anything extra, just I was able to manipulate my body at this weight. I was like, holy fucking shit. This fucking yoga shit is wild. Like,
being able to kind of almost like flip over your toes.
Yeah.
That alone, I was like, when I first
up dog,
like, how do you go from a up dog to the down dog? How do you get over your toes without like fully
up
lifting
dog to
your
down
foot?
dog to like it's just
anything
like
where you're going. I'm like, yo, I never.
I'm telling you, we're gonna try one of them flowing goals tomorrow. We're gonna see.
Wait, so like what color though? Because like right now, I'll be honest with you. I'm in the yellow.
The DDPs do yellow for you. I would say stick with yellow and down.
I do yellow.
I do yellow. And I remember
I do yellows in DDP as well. But I'm telling you, like some of these yoga studios, like there's other ones that have some fire.
And but see, I'm not trying to die.
Black Swan. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it.
Nah, well, fucking.
My dude Noah.
When you be fucking talking about the drip is activated, like your yoga mat is fucking.
That's Noah's classes, bro. He has you drenched because he is one of them. He's a power dude. If you look up his Instagram, you could see he's like he looks like a powerful person. like kind of stocky, like he's a jack dude. So it's like his flows are strength focused. So you're planking, like doing a solid plank, solid maybe like 2 minute long. While he's the type that like, I'm gonna talk for 10 minutes in the middle of you holding the plank, and then I'm gonna pull you up into a lunge and have you stay in this lunge and talk for you 2 minutes in this lunge, and then put you into a chair right after, and then go
I'm
from that
cursing
chair
Diamond
to,
out already. I don't need to be like. I
Nah,
need to.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
See,
the type of dude where it's like
see,
you're cool, but Noah, shut up, Noah, stop talking, stop talking, and he's what? But he's cool, mad cool to listen to, mad chill to listen to. I love flowing with him, but he's one where I'm like, yo, nigga, shut up. Shut up. Let's get out of this.
It's like, listen
But
here, motherfucker. I got things
he's
to
the
do.
drippy activated for sure. Almost all of his flows will leave you with like a solid drip going.
So now I think because we talked about yoga physically. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about the physical body, and we also talked about how it can help you in other ways. I wanted to bring up because your spiritual outlook on things, because you yourself, you're agnostic. Am I correct?
Correct.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Now, Los, what are you? That's like I've been trying to figure that out since '87. I feel as if I've been failing ever since. So talk to me. Talk to the people. Actually, fuck that.
I would think I adopt many different different belief systems, if you will. Let's just say like I believe in a higher power, and we'll just leave it at that. And I don't believe in the guideline, the written guideline of religion. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like I take it more personal. Like I don't need the church. I don't need someone to worship through. It's just me and the Creator. You know what I mean? That's the relationship.
You think there's one there, but you're not set into a religion that is at least known.
Right. And I'm not following all this other history that's unnecessary to my, you know what I mean? It does nothing for me. So I obviously believe in everything, and I believe in the math and the science, the things that sometimes like the divine math, things that are supposed to happen. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in like shit is made to happen. I believe in karma. I believe in reincarnation to some extent. So I'm all over the place. It's actually like it's a journey, because it's like you're learning more and more every day, and it's just like, all right, what is this? Well, you want to have a definition for shit. You know what I mean? So like when he asked me, I could have like a short elevator statement like ready, like, here's a little index.
You're fine, buddy. I think you know what I'm saying? I think you're perfectly fine. I think that was exactly what I was looking for. Just to describe that in that sense. Because I'm kind of like that myself, in the sense like I was born, like raised Christian. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I'm a Freemason now. So the way I'm not a Christian anymore, I believe in a higher power. But I also believe that because, if you look at the major religions, they all kind of connect. And then even when you look at Hinduism, it's like basically the same damn story as Christianity. Yeah. So to me, I just look at I think more so spirituality. I think some dope shit happened. It's the game of telephone. Everybody just took from it what absolutely. They did. Absolutely. But my question to you, my good brother, is what brought you on the agnostic route on life? Like what was it that you were like,
First
what?
Explain that for the
Oh yeah. For people who don't know, could you let them
actually,
know what that is?
That works. This girl that just started working with me, she's 20, and I told her I was agnostic. She was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "You don't know what the fuck agnostic is?" But I get it. Not everybody
wants to show like
I fuck with you, son. This is why I fuck with you.
I was like, not everybody knows this stuff. At 20, I had no clue. I didn't even know what an atheist was. I don't think really. At 20.
Really? Mm-hmm.
I remember I learned the first ever atheist that I met was a girl that I was dating in college. Like when I remember I was telling her, I was like, oh, you need to believe in Jesus because you got to go to heaven when you die. She's like, no, I don't. I was like, yeah, you do. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, but you do.
That's
To be
what they
dead
told me.
honest, that I think was my, like, the here you go. Here's your first question moment. Somebody just
right.
called you out. Why do I need to believe in what you believe in? I had no answer.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, this would lead me to try and learn.
Mm.
But as time went on, everything that I would learn would all come down to okay, how do I apply this? What do I do with this in life? Cool. You're telling me I need to follow these rules. Why? What is this going to do for me in life?
Yes.
Seeing that everything seemed to point to something basic, on a trip to go see someone, I read the book The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Dope book. And it was one that was like, yo, you just hit on things that I fully agree with. Be impeccable with your word. Damn, I don't even remember them now. But it was just
Basically,
basic
it's principles that you like your principles and your guideline and your
Right.
book into living a
Right.
good life. Being a
This
good
is
human.
how you should live. Mind what you say. Pay attention to how you treat people. Watch how you think. Pay attention to what you get involved with. Like, do this and you're probably going to be good. Introduce other things into life that show, like, this is how you're filtering the world. This is how I'm looking at the world and how I might be projecting onto it something that's not actually there. But learning about this and then going back, and I remember I went and I was like, yo, mom's a Christian, raised Christian. It's like, yo, mom, check this book out. I thought it was really dope. I'm like, it doesn't say God, but it's useful. She looked at it. I remember read 2 pages and was like, this is something not talking about God, so it's from the devil. Don't listen. Boom, got rid of it. I was like, all right, I'm not listening to you.
Right.
Like, if you can't look at this book and say, this shit makes sense, however, I still attribute it to this, then that's not how, then to me, you're not the one to listen to. Because if you're objective in a sense, I don't necessarily believe everything is objective, but if you're going to say, watch what you say with your words, like watch how you talk to people, if you can't read that, and even though it doesn't say honor God at the end of it, can't read that and still say, yeah, this is good shit, and I'm like, I don't necessarily need to listen to what you're going to say. And why doesn't your book tell me to do that?
Yeah.
Why don't yes, I can read. Yes, I've learned over time that it does teach the same things, but then this is saying, like, I'm learning this from other places. I went and studied a good amount about Buddhism and learned a lot from it, a lot more from it, even more so than I found in places of the Bible. So I'm like, if I'm learning from there and you're going to say everything outside of you is wrong, prove how this is wrong. Prove how that stuff's wrong. Prove how we are not all connected. Bible says we're not. Buddhism says we are. Buddhism seems more correct. So prove how they're wrong. Then do that. I'm wearing on my shirt, Alan Watts. Got into him. Once I listened to him, he was one of those like light bulb moment dudes. Everything he was saying was like boom, 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 boom. Yes, I get it. I get it. Wow, that clicked there. Wow, the whole everything is connected thing. Broke it down to like the simplest form that I was like, that's so basic to get and understand. You go with the background. Everything that you see, heads go with tails, front goes with back. You don't have one without the other. Same thing with you and everything else. Without everything else, there is no you. Without you, you don't see everything else. Granted, our connection back is a lot harder to see, but you literally go with the background. If you can't see a background, you don't see the figure that you're looking at. Taking it from that type of a thought, I was like, you just made it so plain and simple. This one doesn't agree with you. This group doesn't agree with you. And I still have yet to hear from that group how that's wrong. I just hear like, you're not relating it to God. So
wouldn't you, I think the issue that you have with major religion, I think the issue that Los has with major religion, what I have is that the way that certain groups of individuals try to enforce the Bible in certain ways.
Yeah,
It's
man.
kind of, excuse me, well, not the Bible, but any
Sacred texts.
well, you know what? Any of their sacred texts. It could be anywhere from the Quran to what do Jewish individuals
The
read out
Torah.
of? The Torah. You know what I'm saying? It could be out of any of your books. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's like if you really believe in your religion, then it's supposed to be going by the T of that book, right? Obviously, yes, you have to have certain modern, adaptations, but like if you're gonna stand on your high horse in regards to certain things, but then it's all right for certain things to go over, it just speaks about a true and utter contradiction that no one ever wants to address. You know what I'm saying? And
That said, it's not. I don't mean to cut you off, but that says to me one of those. These are people in the past doing this. These are people writing these books because they're gonna write contradictory shit when they do something, and then come back later and like, ooh, I was kind of messed up.
and this is, and then,
how
but
you
then,
do this.
Yeah,
but then here's
you
the thing.
can't at this point. You can't do that.
But then
Right.
you can't. But you can't. Ooh. Then here's a question, because what I was gonna say that you can't tell me that because like everyone says like the book is coming from like God was telling somebody something and then of course they got it correctly the right way. But here's my question: is this one? Would God even on purpose, intentionally try to create such contradictions, or is God himself a contradiction?
I thought God's supposed to be a perfect being.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on which one you're talking about. If I was to relate it to Abrahamic gods, I would say that that those gods seem contradictory. They are to me, you can't say love everybody and then tell them to also, you can own these people as property. You can't, those two things don't go together. Yes, second, you can rationalize that you were being nice or whatever for the time period. Cool.
So that case killing your brother.
That to me still says people did this then, not a God, because a God wouldn't have done that. Not one that is apparently all good. However, you go to Eastern religions, Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't necessarily have a God, but their God figure, their God idea is one that is doing everything to itself. So the shit that we look at as evils kind of go moot because it's him doing it to himself. It seems fucked up on our end, and they just eat that. They're like, yep, it might seem that way, but it's really not, because he's doing it to himself and he's doing it on purpose and knows what he's doing. So just whatever. As much as it sucks, okay.
It's a part of him.
Yeah,
or her, or it.
They're doing it to themselves. You are feeling it because you are the being that it's playing out as, but they're doing it to themselves ultimately. You're not really real anyway, so you're going to look at this messed up. You're going to look at this like this is not good, but it's doing it to itself.
And you can reach a point that you realize that it's doing it to itself.
Yeah, that one I
conquer it.
I can't. And and realizing that is one of those, it helps you to get through times that are shitty. Does it help to me, somebody who's being raped or molested? No, that thought doesn't help them. But for me, okay, I can't really argue with that. It's not falsifiable. So I don't go out and I don't preach it. I don't run around and say like this is the case, because I'm like, it might not be the case. I don't know. But so, I get it.
So does that brings me up to this. So do you celebrate holidays?
Yeah. No, and like I don't make them religious in any sense. I don't shun it or like steer away from it, but I'm not going out and buying a religious related ornament. I'm not aiming anything in a religious direction.
So, and I don't know, and the thing is, just because the only reason why I'm interested is because, like you said, you were a father, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, and I've thought about this many of times when, when the day when I have kids is like, how do I raise a child and not put them on and not ruin their imagination, but yet not make it this super religious thing where it's like, who, you're getting who you don't know who's getting celebrated.
It's hard. I say it's hard because I'm coming from a perspective where I'm by myself, in the sense that nobody else within, I don't think anybody within my immediate family thinks like I do. Everybody else is Christian. Her family too. They're all Christians. So it's like that gets brought in anyway. And I just, okay, you can say what you want. I still play with the Santa thing a little bit. I don't like pushing Santa because I think Santa's kind of stupid. So
let's get into it. I'm always down to say some fuck Santa shit.
Santa is mommy and daddy. That's
right,
very
right,
clear.
right. You're taking away from what your parents do for you. I remember I learned about Santa at a very young age, not from my parents telling me, but from not listening and trying to sneak downstairs to see Santa came in to give me presents and seeing my parents driving my shit. And I was like, oh, it's them. Okay. I'd rather just send my daughter into the world with, hey, know that we got this from you. We'll still tell you, Santa, at the end, but I'm not going to, I don't know. I play with it a little bit now, but I don't shun away Santa. I don't shun away religion. I just
kind of like coexist.
Cool. Yeah, like cool. You can talk about it. You want to make this thing about Jesus, you can go right ahead and talk to him about it. I'm not backing it up.
Right, but when she has questions, when she gets older and she starts asking questions, you're just
I
going to
will
give her
try
that
and
brutal.
curb
You're going to give her
answers.
your truth. Yeah, you're going to be like, yeah.
That part I don't know yet. This is part of why I don't go deep into religion yet on my channel. I want to, like, it keeps pulling at me, like, let's just start doing it. But because of the fact that I have family that, like, they're all still not, they don't think like I do. So I don't want to push the wrong buttons. I don't want to step on toes in an area that, like, I didn't step on before because I didn't know, and they just go on with their life living. But
well, I think honestly, us as creators, we have to. I would actually challenge you that means that's something that you have to get into. That's something that Los and I are trying to do ourselves, is kind of get into those places and have conversations that make us uncomfortable.
Little different, I think, only if I mean, I'm not overly concerned about my in-laws, but I do still live with my in-laws, so I don't want.
True, I hear you. You don't want to create unnecessary static. I hear you.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't think it would, because they know me as a person. So any stigma of an agnostic or any stigma of an atheist that they would have, you lived with one now. You lived with an agnostic for the entire time period that I've been with their daughter. She met me this way. I haven't been any different. So it's not like, oh, I came into the picture as a Christian and you guys love that, and then I changed midway. Like, nope, I haven't been one since the day you met me. So
you just haven't brought it up.
Yeah. And when church stuff comes, like, I'll still go to church. I'll still not, I don't challenge stuff when they bring it up. They've taught my daughter prayers. I don't turn around and say, like, don't teach her that or anything. Like, I'm just like, I've coexisted. I just live and let live. The only thing I was concerned about was a baptism thing, because I'm like, I felt weird enough when I got married with some of the things I had to say to get through the service. But I'm like, for the baptism, I feel even weirder going up and be like, yeah, I'm giving my child over to follow Jesus. And I promise that I always, like, I did this once and wasn't really telling the truth. So to do it again, I don't know how I feel about that, but it hasn't been pressed, so I just left it alone. It's one of those things that I'm still kind of waiting for it to come up, but I think my wife is kind of with me on a whatever. She doesn't care anyway. But it's one of those. That's one of
That's
the
beautiful.
weird ones where I'm like, I don't want to go in and lie again. Like I already did once. I don't care because to me, what I lied about isn't going to make a difference for my relationship.
Mhm.
But to go in and now say, yeah, I'm dedicating my daughter to somebody I don't believe in. Like, no, I don't want
Yeah.
to.
So now,
I
is
may
this
do
a-
it for just to appease, but I don't know.
I was about to say, like, is this a conversation that has to be had with them? Because like I don't have kids, so I don't know. I can't really make too many comments on it. You know what I mean?
I would say if it
So
was to come up, yes. If it was to come up as a thing to do, I would at least stress like a hey, I don't. I'll do this for the appeasing of everybody else. If you really want to, I don't think I'm hurting my daughter by doing it, but
right.
like, just know I'm not going to feel the most comfortable because there's a part of me where I'm like, I feel like I'm being fake. I'm being fake to people from her church.
Right.
Her pastor loves me. Like seems to love me and feel a great thing coming from me. But I'm like, you also think that I'm a believer, and I don't believe what you say.
Yeah.
So now,
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
So
Yeah,
so you
I'm
just
here so I don't get fined.
so it's just like all right.
You're right there.
I don't.
What?
Let me get
Do
together
you-
now.
Are you
Hold
cool
on, let me get it
continuing
together.
talking about this topic, or do you want us to get off?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm fine. I don't
Okay.
mind talking about it. I'm not like afraid to talk about it. I don't bring it up with
So
certain
you're just
people.
yeah, because I guess I'm just like one. I guess what's curious to me is just like because I know like me, like one day eventually there'll be a little fucker running around here and little crumb snatchers, I like to call them.
Hope
And
so.
I know that, I like to call them little crumb snatchers. Like that's what my mom called me. So that's what I'm gonna pass down
You
to
ain't
mine.
stealing no damn crumbs, nigga.
Oh yeah, I was stealing plates. But so like I know when I have my own, little incarnation, there's gonna be a certain way that like I'm gonna want things done.
Mhm.
But then also too, I understand that in itself is gonna be a contradiction at times to how I was raised in a certain way. But then but then
Do you
like
charge that to the times?
but
though?
no. But what I'm gonna say is that I feel as if my mom had an approach like him. And what I mean by that is like my mom believes in God. But my mom was never really going to church. She sent me to church. But then I remember one day I came to her, I was like, I don't really want to go to church. She's like, all right, so you don't gotta go.
He was like, yes.
That's all I had to do this whole time.
It's as simple as that. I was
This
like,
took me 3 months to ask you.
I was like 13 or 14. She was like, all right, you don't gotta go. But my dad, OD religious, going to church every Sunday. Like, well, he was like sometimes he does. I don't think he does now, but he'll go on and off. It depends on like his mood. But he is still like no matter what, he keeps a tight relationship with God. So like I feel as if I was like raised in a house like that, and my mom was just kind of like, yeah. Cause like I remember telling my mom like, I'm not a Christian, and she like seemed a little nervous, but my mom seems more nervous about just like, well, how you gonna deal with people? I'm gonna tell them to kiss my ass, mom. Like,
That's usually how it goes out.
Straight like that. You know
It's
what I mean?
amazing how many people are like Christian. It's wild when you are the one.
Especially with how we got it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it was
that part too. That's weird.
Yeah, and for me, I think it was a little bit of a mix because
I'm about to worship this white dude.
Yeah, my parents like used to send me to church too. Like I used to go to Sunday school and stuff when I was living in Brooklyn, and I was like, I don't understand because they don't practice it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, it's not
Yeah,
like
you feel so Rastafarian, right?
I mean, yeah, but it's like Rasta, like, is a the belief system. But I think they're just more like it's they're just more spiritual too. You know what I mean? Like they don't, like so I was kind of having this weird point in time where I'm like, why is there a Jesus here, like in the house? Like, why is there? What do you even do anything to this? This
Right.
is just here.
It's just
You know what I
there
mean?
because people said to put it there.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, what is this cross doing here? Like, that's not even my cross. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's like beautiful now that I'm like on this. I've been on this journey for a while, and it's like, you got the you get the full understanding of why things the way they are, especially when you look back at history,
Mhm.
and then you realize it's like, all right, what was people like me believing in, and then you get into stuff like that, like comedic science, and you get into just African spirituality, and just trying to get the understanding of the self mastery, because at the end of the day, it's the guideline of you and your life, and it's the trying to achieve salvation, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? So it's just a guideline for you to be the best person that you can. You know what I mean? So that's what
That's
I
what I
do.
gravitate to.
I do understand that, and I think that is the reason why religion is so prominent. But I just don't like the feuding and just saying the credibility to say your God doesn't exist, or this didn't happen, or you know what I mean? All this.
The only reason
I don't understand that.
Well, here's the first of all, and here's what people don't even realize when it comes to religion. The only reason that everyone is right now OD, 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 OD.
How
like,
many
you
ODs
know,
was that?
a lot.
Okay.
Nick, Nickelodeon. So now
That was a free ad. Don't do that.
yeah. So the reason why Christianity is on top the way it was in Western civilization is because of the holy wars and the fact that Christianity won.
Right.
But like this world would be vastly different if if Islam won.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like the the Crusades was a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So to victory goes
History.
the spoil. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
History is written by the victor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what I don't even think people understand how that goes into play to even like what you were even born into. But then you can say it's fate.
Mm-hmm.
You can say it is what it is. But just like it's a melter. It's to me, it's all the same thing, especially because the three need each other: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You want to know why? Jesus was a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, he was Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Then on top of that, he's considered a prophet in Islam. And then the prophet that is Muhammad,
Mm-hmm.
is the brother. What is he? The brother or son of Abraham?
Couldn't even tell you. I don't know Islam like that.
It's something like that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
three.
I gotta piss. I'll step out. But
No diggity. All three of them need each other. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very interesting, kind of deal.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Not bad.
So, and they all three need each other.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So here's my question to you.
What's up, sir?
What are practices of Rastafarian? Like what did you ever did your people ever
Sit
did
down
you
and
ever
teach me? No.
No. Now, did you ever sit down and ask? It's a part of your culture, so I'm surprised that you didn't kind of dial into that.
Well, you know what it is? I kind of just picked it up. You know what I mean? Because it was so it was just heavily portrayed.
Huh?
You know what I mean? So it's just Rasta is they
Is it more of a lifestyle,
yes,
or is it?
They wouldn't say it's a belief system. They say it is more of a lifestyle.
So who do you believe in? Jah?
Yes, Jah is God, and I guess
And I'm not being funny with this question. I'm really
I understand. So God would be Jah, yeah, of course, and
Okay.
then the prophet is Haile Selassie. I mean, I'm not saying Selassie.
Yeah, that
Haile-
prophet. So then what is what is the story of Rastafari?
Selassie is pretty much like a warrior king. He was the king of Ethiopia, and he just was like a really good dude. Really good reign. He pushed back the English that were trying to I think or some European invading. It might be the English, but some invading English power came in and was trying to take over, maybe France or something like that. In Ethiopia, and he helped them drive back. So to them, that's like their prophet. You know what I mean? So it's everything is in his, how I say in Jesus' name, right? It would be Haile Selassie.
Because I guess Jah was working through him.
Right.
But
you
then
know what I'm saying, they call him the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Jah was working through him.
In a sense, yes.
Interesting.
This is just from what I picked up. You know what I mean? This is not like
you could be completely wrong.
I could be, but
Right.
I could be on the nose. You know what I mean?
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, but
I need to speak with some Rastafarian experts. I need to have this kind of conversation because this shit is interesting as finnuck.
But you gotta understand that to understand like just as much as like Islam and Jew.
Well, everything has their ups, its pros and cons.
But yes, they had their fight for credibility, I guess, because in a sense, like in the 70s and the 80s, when it first got introduced to mainstream media,
sure,
i.e. Bob Marley, and the Wailers and all that stuff,
of course,
it was rebel music. You know what I mean? So this is what the narrative was on it. This is why people
So the religion is relatively young though, because you said that it was like, how old, which king was that?
Well, no, the king was like 18 something. Like
okay.
I think Selassie
King
like
Joffrey Joe.
Yeah. Not King Joffrey Joe. but but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened, and everybody they didn't really, it wasn't jacking it. You know what I mean? They thought, and that's why the whole image is an attack on the whole image.
Of course, Western civilization is gonna like anything.
Right. The attack on the whole image. They don't like
sure.
locks. They don't like just the lifestyle, just chilling, and thinking like, and then what people don't really know is like Rasta is like one of the most healthiest ways of life. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
They eat surely by the land. Like almost it's basically a vegan.
If you don't grow it, you don't eat it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they eat well, they're active, they believe in.
So do they eat like steak?
No, they don't eat none of that.
See, I can't.
No meat.
Nah, see, that's what we not. See, I don't.
No meat.
See, fuck that.
But that's what you see them. They're so like sometimes they're like their bodies are different. You know what I mean? They're not like, they don't have the muscle tone like we do, but they may have the they may do whatever they do, the little calisthenics, the little workouts. You know what I mean? Play soccer, play all type of stuff. They be running around. So it's like they still get after it and stay active, but they just and plus they smoke weed all day. You know what I mean? So it's like
smoke weed every day.
That definitely helps the balance out of just living.
Facts. So listen, I think that we've kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
We've kind of ran the gambit a little bit.
We did. We covered the board. And once again, thank you for definitely, accepting the invite and hopping in the chat with us.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, had to sit down with one of the, and this is inspirational to anybody that listens out there, because they could be like, not only the content and the conversation that we had, but also the fact that like you too could get a BTB interview. You know what I mean? Like, my man, you became one of the listeners and just supported us from one of the early days.
He had his own channel prior to it, so listen,
right.
We're always down to collaborate, motherfucker.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And this is what it's about. You know what I mean? It's the coalition of brands. You know what I mean? It's a creative empire that we're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? So
there are two things I do want to chat with y'all about if you're open to it.
Right.
Your world, baby. I'm just living in it.
One, I know D, me and you were talking a little bit about the whole Q Trump plan, the plan for Black America thing.
What is it?
We got it like a little bit. Well,
I'm gonna let y'all know.
That's one.
I want to let y'all know if we're gonna go here, this is like a part 2 to this.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. That and Breonna Taylor are two things that I want to talk to y'all about. Just because.
Well, if we're going to,
just because
fucking these, if we're gonna enter these waters, that's fine. That's fine, because then we're going to have to obviously talk about the current political climate that is happening right now, which we don't know who the president is. So that means that this episode would have to kind of get released pretty soon. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, my good sir, let's go ahead and let's have our.
I mean, if you have the time, I don't know. What sound like you?
Yeah, because you know I'm hungry. So
You're getting angry.
I'm fixing to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I
You
forgot.
know,
And this is upstate. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get into it off air if you want to literally just chat Dean.
Here is
Don't
you
have
and
to
I can. I'm gonna
pull
hit
him
the
up.
I'll hit your DM, but let me talk to Los and let's look at our like. Are you available tomorrow at all? Possibly.
Later in the day, I have
We
a
wouldn't be able to
take
do
my
it because
daughter out in noon or early morning. One of the two. If you did early morning, super early.
I'll talk to him and see. If not, we won't be able to have this exact
Oh, Jay and
conversation.
Joe. You could do another Jay and Joe.
Jays and Joes.
Ooh, we could do
Jays
that in
and
the
Joes.
morning.
Jays and Joe's
Let
is
me
solid.
because we're both actually gonna go grab food and shit. I'm gonna hit your DM and shit, and then we're gonna talk about it and stuff like that.
That works. Even if
All right.
this was something that we talked about at a later, I'm fine. But I want to talk with y'all about that.